Here's a video review for Dark of the Moon Dark Steel. It is a repaint of Dark of the Moon Sideswipe, and it is intended to be a Quickstrike homage, Beast Wars Quickstrike, which you may have seen in the beginning there. In the pictures, it's the brown and the oranges. Now, granted, Quickstrike had the translucent plastic for the yellowy stuff. This is just paint, or it's actually just some yellowish plastic with some gold paint up here on the chest. So yeah, it's not translucent like Quickstrike, but it is intended to be a Quickstrike homage here. Now, I said last night in my Leadfoot review it was probably going to be one of my last Dark of the Moon reviews, and that was partly because even though I shot Leadfoot first last night, I was intending to have this shot last night as well, and upload that one first, so Leadfoot would actually have been my last one. And then I realized as I went to shoot that I had left Quickstrike at home, even though I got him out, had him sitting, he was sitting right there on the end table right by the door where I thought I was going to grab one. I just forgot to grab him. And so I was like, well, I'll shoot it anyway and then just get some pictures tomorrow night, and then I just have to put it together, and then realized that at some point at home one of his hands had popped out, and thankfully was also sitting on the floor at home, but he didn't have a hand, so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But I already shot Leadfoot at that point and didn't want to reshoot and everything, which I probably should have done once I realized the trust transformation anyway. But I've been, like I said, I'm doing better now that I'm on my BiPAP machine, but I'm still very tired. So, yeah, there's that. A little scatterbrained still. But as you can see, it's a nice repaint of Sideswipe. It's kind of a darkish brown, like a really dark chocolate brown with some teal highlights. And like in car mode, most of the orange is kind of hidden. You really only see just the brown and teal, aside from the orange on the guns. And he does come with repaints or remolds of Starscream's weapons to kind of represent. They still plug together just like before to make the really long sword, like that. And of course, you've got like the fangs up here to kind of represent the snake half, and the stinger to represent the scorpion tail. I'm not a real big fan of this weapon, and it's hard for him to hold it. I mean, I think the guns look nice on the side of the vehicle in vehicle mode, but the actual weapon itself, he doesn't hold it very well, and I'm not a real big fan of it. But we'll show that off more later. Now this, like I said, I like the repaint, I like the color scheme on this. For some reason, the plastic just feels a little cheaper than Sideswipe. I had a couple of pieces that had some really big, thick, like sprue bits still stuck on that I had to clip off, like here and on one of the heels, and a lot of mold flash. And then, in general, it just feels a little cheaper. It feels more like a cheap model kit, not a super cheap model kit. It's still solid, but it just something about it just feels off. And it may just be the plastic they used. I don't know. But so there's that. And transform him just like Sideswipe. Well, we've seen the Sideswipe transformation. There's nothing new or involved. The only really thing... Well, he does have a new head, but that doesn't change the transformation. We'll get into that in a minute here. So let's get all the things out. Come on, hood. There we go. There you go. And fold that up. Exhaust pipes are in. You fold these down. Clip out his hands. Alright, I'm being quiet. I realize that there's not a whole lot to really talk about. Transform the wheels. Flip down. And there he stands, broken-hearted. Nope, I'm just kidding. Here I sit anyway. He does still have the arm blades, which kind of makes sense, because they didn't completely remold this guy. So, and you can like I said, you can swing those down and deploy them for arm blades. Here's this weapon, which, like I said, you can put it in his hand, especially if you have one of the blades folded up. But it really only fits in like sideways across like that. You can kind of get it up like this, but like I said, they were designed for Starscream, not for Sideswipe. So while it can fit in his hand, he doesn't hold it very well. I mean, and I don't mean by like doesn't have a good grip on it, although there's that issue too. It's just, there's a lot of, you can't really hold it in any decent pose because of the way the wheel bits interfere with parts of the gun. So it's there. You can plug it in. You can plug it in back here. You plug the guns in back here, I guess, when they're separate. But again, you have to keep them separated. The combined mode really isn't worth it. But you can, if you want, plug the guns back up here. You can bring those up as like some shoulder cannons. So there's options there, but I'm just not a real big fan of that. I love the design of it. I love the fang and stinger design of it and the colors, but even on Starscream, I was never a big fan of that combined weapon. Oh, jeez. So yeah, anyway, there's the top of his body. It has been a long week, and I apologize, because it's been a long week. And it's only Wednesday night. So we got that, and but there he is. And like I said, if you want, you can put these guns up here on the car bits. You can kind of plug them in up here and have them come over his shoulder like that. Shoulder cannons. Bring them up. If you want to give him shoulder cannons. Does tend to make him a little bit more back heavy, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boys? Just bring them. There we go. So yeah, you got some options with these, but like I said, they're not great. Anyway, let's just get them off of here. Let's just not deal with them. How about that? I mean, you see his head is kind of, I guess, it's very serpenty. I will give it that. Kind of an attempt to movie-fy Quickstrike's head. Here he is with Beast Wars Quickstrike. Not in focus because I backed up. There we go. And you can see the similar colors. The teal. There's some teal on his kneecaps. It matches the teal, the brown, and then the gold. And again, like I said, Quickstrike's much more is a clearish translucent orange, whereas his is just this solid kind of puke yellow. So I think if you didn't have Quickstrike right next to him, it'd be more evocative of Quickstrike. So yeah, I think personally, if you're going to get this mold, get Sideswipe. It was a really neat idea. I like the idea of it. When I saw this at BotCon, I was like, oh, that looks like it's going to be pretty cool. And it's okay. It's not anything to write home about. It's just a repaint of Sideswipe. It does have a new head, and I kind of dig the new head. I do kind of dig the design of the head. It was just such a neat, and it's a neat idea. I love the fact that they are in fact homaging a Beast Wars character and Quickstrike of all of them. I think that's pretty cool. But I just don't know how I feel about the final execution. Like I said, he just feels a little cheaper than Sideswipe, and I think he's probably like he's not one of the like collector line store exclusive figures from what I understand. He's worth picking up at regular retail price. I would totally buy this for $11, $12, whatever they're selling Deluxes for, and not feel ripped off. But since I am a Beast Wars fan and I kind of like Quickstrike, I'm a little disappointed in it. I won't lie. But if you're looking forward to it, you're probably going to still like it. So, but there it is. Dark of the Moon, Dark Steel.